Spoiler alert. The following will contain spoilers for Eternals and a possible future MCU Disney Plus series. Please be advised. What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. Hey, look, if you just got done watching Eternals, then you probably have questions about the final post-credit scene. Now, if you're not interested in spoilers just yet, you can go check out my spoiler-free review, which is on my channel right now. Back to the post-credit scene, at the end of Eternals, we see Dane Whitman staring at a box with strange markings on it. As he approached the container and opened it, there was a message on it that read, "Death is his reward." Now, I'm not a linguist or anything, but it sounded like that language that he was speaking was in Arabic. If it was in Arabic, that's going to be a major factor later on because I'm going to give you a theory about how this all connects later. Remember earlier in the movie where Sprite casually mentioned the ebony blade and Thena corrected her and said no, they had the Excalibur sword instead? Well, the sword in the box is the ebony blade. Anyway, for those of you not familiar, the ebony blade is a magical sword that gives the wielder powers such as being able to cut through almost anything, deflect magic, or even protect the user from death. Now, we don't know how the MCU is going to define the powers or if it's going to be different from the comics, but that's just a general idea for now. Now, the only downside with the sword is that it's also cursed. The longer the wielder has the sword, the more it corrupts them, making them lust for bloodshed and violence and death. Basically, the more you kill with the sword, the more violent the user will become and out of control. That's where the whole death is his reward factors in. As Dane stares at the sword encased in the container, low whispers can be heard, and the weapon seemed to be calling for him to grab it. As he is about to take hold of the sword, a voice from the other side of the room says, "Are you sure about that, Mr. Whitman?" Then cuts to black. So let me just say that I do think that Marvel pulled a fast one on us. And when I say us, I'm talking about us critics and press. Because when I first went to go see Eternals and we all heard the voice, a lot of us could not make out who it was. It sounded like some random English person. But this is not, unusual for Marvel to change things up for the press screenings versus for fan or general public screenings. So I actually ended up going to see Eternals for a second time, and this was just with the general public. And when I heard the second scene again, the voice sounded way more familiar. And I think Marvel was just being careful because earlier during the world premiere, some sort of press member ended up spoiling one of the post-credit scenes, and I don't think they wanted another mistake like that to happen. Anyway, it turns out that the mysterious voice at the end of the post-credit scene was none other than Mahershala Ali, aka your new Blade. His voice was much more clear at my second screening, but I couldn't be 100% sure. That is, until it's recently been revealed that director Chloe Zhao, in an interview, revealed that it was actually Ali's voice at the end. She said, "That was the voice of one of my favorite superheroes, Mr. Blade himself. Blade, 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 yeah. You just have to wait for Blade's solo film. I don't know what they're doing with the movie, but Mahershala is a treasure. It's going to be epic." Now, Zhao does admit that she doesn't know much about the Blade solo film. And you know what? That actually lines up with how Marvel Studios operates. They usually keep their directors kind of like in silos so that they can work on their dedicated projects. But the only people that really know what's really happening in the MCU and how everything connects are the executive producers and, of course, president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige. So this is the part where I'm going to put on my theory hat and kind of give you my explanation or thoughts as to why Blade would possibly even be at the end credit scene of Eternals and what his connection to Dane Whitman could be. Recently, there have been some rumors that leaked online, so I really want you all to take a huge grain of salt with this, as of course it may or may not be true. The rumor stated that Mahershala Ali was going to appear in the upcoming Disney Plus series, Moon Knight. Now, for those of you who don't know, Moon Knight is going to be the debut of a brand new superhero in the MCU. Oscar Isaac will be playing the role of Mark Spector, who will be playing a dark vigilante who claims to be the chosen fist of an Egyptian moon god, Khonshu. So if Blade is going to be in Moon Knight, this could be an interesting thing if this rumor is true. We already know from Loki that vampires do exist in the MCU. which confirmed that Blade obviously exists too.
You know, we brought in Kree, Titans, vampires. Why is it the two orphan demigods are such a pain in the ass?
The rumored leaker also said that Dracula may be the major villain in Moon Knight. So my theory is that if it's true that Blade will appear in Moon Knight, then that could mean that Blade will appear in Egypt, where, by the way, they do speak Arabic, similar to the "death is his reward" inscription. If Blade is in Egypt, then that could also mean that he's also hunting Dracula in that area too. I'm also theorizing that Blade could be interested in the ebony blade because it could be the only magical weapon powerful enough to kill Dracula. Anyway, that's just my really quick theory on the end of the post-credit scene for Eternals and how Blade could have a connection not only to the Eternals movie but also to the Moon Knight series if that rumor does pan out to be true. So, what do you think about my theory and the final post-credit scene? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.